moments of reflection about 4 years ago, and I have to admit that was quite a bad place at the time. And that think about developed, and now I'm in a much, much better place. But it's developed into these sort of videos, much longer moments of reflection. And I just found that by doing this, I can help other people too, because I can help other people get to a better place in their lives, and that's really, really rewarding. And that's what this is all about. So I hope you enjoy it. As we go through, please do like and share. And if you particularly think of somebody that this would really help, then please do forward this on to them and share it with them too, because that would really help them. So, painful endings and new beginnings. Why do we always pretend to have new beginnings and resolutions in January, which I think is a really bad time of year, and I'm going to explain why that is. The first thing is that we all go through phases in life, and some will be longer, some will be shorter, some people have more than others, but essentially somewhere you're going to start off really happy and really excited. So, for example, when you first go to school, it's really exciting, it's new, you meet lots of new friends, and as time goes on, it might get harder, you might not have so many friends, a new teacher might change, you might not like the new one, whatever it might be, or a university course, or a relationship, or a job. It's always going to start off really new and exciting and fun at the beginning. But invariably, as time goes on, and that time could be a long time or a short time, something will change to make it not nearly as fun and rewarding as it was when you first started. So when you get to that point, phase in your life, that normally you think, I've had enough of that, and at some point you'll then get rid of that. It might be painful in the process of going through the last bit, not the actual leaving bit, and then you go on to a new beginning. So the reality is that we all go through these phases all the way throughout our life. We're all human, and we simply couldn't have those up and downs through life, otherwise we'd all be robots and life wouldn't be the same at all. So we all have these phases. But the reality is, at the time, when it's the right time for you to change and move on to a new phase, it's not going to be on the 1st of January, because it's just not going to, life's not going to work like that, and it's not going to be every single year. But what fascinates me as well is how often people hang on to that pain and don't want to start a new beginning because they're scared of what the new beginning might bring. But the reality is, as I've just said, that the beginning of every phase is going to be new, exciting, different, and so on. And the end of each phase is going to be painful. So therefore, why hang on longer in the painful bit if you can get to the new, exciting bit more quickly? And I think the reality is most people are scared of change. That's very, very true. And also the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. But I think if we look at phases of life in the way that I've described it, by definition, you're moving on to something better. Now, it might not work out, it might be another phase that's shorter or longer, but again, you've got the choice as a human being to change that and to move on again. So I really encourage people to not to hang around too long on the painful endings bit. You know, I've been through that in my life too, I'm sure we all have. And when you look back, you think, why on earth didn't I do something sooner about that and actually just cut it and move on? Whether it's a university course or it's a job or it's an employer or it's a relationship, whatever it might be. So I really encourage you to move on to a better place. You know, at the point where you need to, don't drag out that pain. There's enough pain in life anyway without making it worse. But here's the other thing about the January thing that I was talking about. January is a really bad time for new beginnings because you're going to get to a natural point, a natural end of a phase. That's the time to move on, not to wait 9 months or 11 months for the beginning of the new year, because that's going to be completely the wrong time for you and you put yourself through more pain in the process. So it's about doing it at the right time for you. That's really, really important. And this, I think, is so often why New Year's resolutions don't really work, because actually it's not at the right time in people's lives for that resolution to work. You haven't got the right commitment to it, the right emotional energy for it, and so on. So, you know, if you decide you're going to lose weight at the beginning of January, there might be no incentive, actually, apart from the fact you want to do it, to really make it work. But 6 months later, you're in a new relationship, you know, you're really, really, really happy and you want to lose weight, say, to get married and get a lovely wedding dress. Then you have a really important incentive to do that, and it's going to work because you really believe in it and it's really important to you. So it is about doing it at the right time. So January is completely the wrong time, I would argue. I know we've overspent and perhaps overindulged over Christmas, but your heart absolutely has to be in it. And the final point I want to make is that the new year is a completely artificial construct anyway. It's a completely man-made date. So how can that beginning of the year be the right time to make changes when we've completely artificially made it anyway? And of course, a lot of cultures and different religions and so on have completely different New Year's Day anyway, all around the world. So yet again, it's a completely artificial construct. So my really important message today is to make sure that to make the painful endings as short as you can and to move on to new beginnings, you know, with enthusiasm and at the right time for you in the year and in the phase in your life. Don't hang on to the old stuff. It's really important to move on. So I hope that's helped you. I say, if it's helped you and you know somebody else it might help, please share it. If we haven't met yet, my name is Mandy Cran, and people come to me when they want to make changes in their life because they want to have better health and quality family time in the years ahead. If that connects with you, then please message me so we can talk about it in a bit more detail. To say thank you for watching the video today, I'd like to offer you a free download of my ebook, 12 Ways to Have More Guilt-Free Time with Your Family. Just go to my Facebook page, the Buzz Group Be More, and click on the link on the left-hand side and you can download that for free. So next week, I'm going to be talking about the 97% rule, which is something you might find interesting. Now, next week, I'm actually going to have to do this early because I have got a meeting. I do try and avoid meetings on a Friday, but I can't always. So it's going to be at 9:30 next Friday. So please do join me then when I'm talking about the 97% rule. Have a fabulous week, and I'll see you next week.